Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect, this time with added update 16, which is also called the multiplayer beta 1 because it adds, unsurprisingly, multiplayer. So I have enlisted the assistance of G-Client. Say hello, G-Client.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, yourself?
I'm absolutely dandy. I'm looking forward to trying... I'm looking forward to attempting to make a facility in the game, but as we have established over the course of, 45 minutes now, it's not entirely going to plan, is it? I mean, it's iffy? What would you call it? What would you call this beta so far?
Working as intended.
Working as intended, right. Okay, I would disagree. I would say that it is definitely called Alpha, the multiplayer beta 1 for sure. We've had multiple dropouts and things like that. It can just be a little bit iffy. So while G-Client is going ahead and going to build some things for us, I'm just going to explain how you get access to this. It's currently on the Steam branch, it's on the beta branch, so you would right-click on the game, go to Properties, and then over to the beta tab, and then you can drop it down and get access to the beta. I think it is coming to the other clients, so the direct download ones and other things at some point, but as of the time recording, no word on that. And not everything is synced up in this, or rather, everything is synced up, but it's not accessed, it can't be accessed from the client side. So as the host, I have access to everything you would normally have in Prison Architect. So your reports, I can change things like our intake, which is currently closed, see the jobs, go for grants like Basic Detention Centre, Administration Centre, things like that. And they'll be able to see them. So G-Client should be able to see on the top left now, Basic Detention Centre and Administration Centre, is that right?
I certainly can.
So you can see we need a holding cell, a shower, a yard, a flogging area, that sort of thing, yeah?
I can.
Okay, that's good. However, they do not have access to wire connections, deployment, logistics, intelligence, emergency call-out, although once they are called in, once we have called in things like the fire engines, riot police, etc., all the clients will be able to control them. Reports, prison grading, and the graphs. So they don't have access to that. So if I go to reports, I can see all of these. If client went to check that out, they wouldn't see access to this. They would just say something like not available or as a client or something. But that is something they've actively mentioned and said they're working on, and it's going to be coming to the next beta soon. Anyway, so as you can see, we're going to be building this, well, I say building it co-op, I've currently done nothing, so this is all G-Client's work, and the way it works is pretty much like Prison Architect, so we can see things are getting placed, there's some work people cracking on with the fence, which I will probably go ahead and hire a lot more, because we're currently on unlimited funds on this map. This is a small map with trees on it, and that's it. I didn't want to go with anything else, because I really didn't want any more sort of gum in the works. So the way it functions is we can see where each of the screen is. So I can see a G-Client here, and they're moving around. So if they have a little run around the reception to show that it is actually the case, there you go. They're even a ghost that can go through walls. Excellent. And when they pick something up from things like rooms or objects, we'll be able to see where their mouse is, and it'll show you a line. So we can see they've got building concrete, which costs 60 generic units of currency, and they'll be able to build wherever they want. So we can see a little line, so it is definitely G-Client that's spending all of our money, which, yeah, we thank generic deities that it is unlimited. So that's fine. So that's cracking on, and that's pretty much how it works. So if you've got multiple clients, you'll be able to see all of that. So while they finish off reception, I'm going to go ahead and plan off some walls, and planning is shown as well, so they should be able to see all of this placed here. So that's a distance of 3, that's a distance of 3, that's fine. So I'm just going to build up here, and hopefully if G-Client is happy to do so, I'll go ahead and fill this in with some fencing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. And we'll go to there and up to there, and then across, and there we go. So we can also go for some objects. So I'm going to put, oh, he's already gone ahead and put some entrances into that. That's fine. So we'll go for materials, concrete. So that's already planned as well. You know what? Do you just want to crack on with this, mate? I mean, you've got this, right? You're right. But back in a sec. I don't think I'm necessary here, right?
Well,
I know.
Seems normal.
I was going to say that's been said multiple times, but yeah, you've got this, right? I mean, do you want to take over the channel?
Yeah, why not? I've got nothing else on for the rest of the day.
Exactly. Anyway, so while that's getting built, I will go ahead and plan off a room over here. I really want to alter the time, but you know, in almost every genre, canon, whatever, altering time generally doesn't go well, and it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be the case in this game because as soon as you alter it, we get dropouts. So we're just not going to do that. So this is just going to be the power block building. So we're going to have our other amenities in here, so that should be fine. So building concrete because we're lavish and we like a bit of brutalism. So there we go. So you've got a reception, that's fine. We've also... can you put some metal detectors from the start and end, please? Is that sufficient?
I can.
Thank you.
Probably.
Right. Probably, okay. We've got... that would be in the objects tab. Were they in the game when you last played about 2 years ago? I think they were, weren't they?
To be honest, I think doors were a new edition last time I played.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point, well made. Anyway, so we'll crack on with this one. I am not going to prioritise it because... Actually, I am going to prioritise it. I want to see what actually happens. I mean, I'm not trying to force G-Client to drop out or anything like that, but I just want to see exactly what the workers will do. So it looks like that has worked and they are heading towards us to build it. So, yeah. I don't know if you... Do you see a stream of workers going up towards that? Do you actually see little arrows on top of that to say it's been fast-tracked?
Yes.
You do? Okay, so that works as well. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. So apart from the odd dropout, it seems fairly robust, and obviously they have mentioned what's not working, but yeah, for the most part it seems alright. Anyway, so that's going to get built. We'll place our power there. What we're going to try and do is get a very, very, very basic, let's call it a detention centre, up and running. And in order to do so, we need certain things, as shown on the top left. So if we get that and get some prisoners in, I think we can call this a success and call it done. So we need a holding cell, we need showers, yards, kitchens, canteens, things like that. So do you want to think about where we're going to place a yard? Would that be acceptable?
I can look at that.
Thank you. Right, I'm just going to keep checking this. There we go. We've got a chain gang going here trying to place all of these on the outside. There we are. And we should actually be totally surrounded now, I believe. Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much done. So the garbage and deliveries is in there, and we've got all the power when I finally add it. So power station, water pump station, capacitors, which I'm not going to place too many for now because we just don't need it, but we'll place the power like so. There we are. And that should hopefully connect all that up. I believe... we also need some officers, don't we? Because we can't actually get anything else so far. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to use the quick build button, which I know for certain wasn't in when you played the game. So at the bottom you've got quick build, which is something I don't use often myself, and allows you to just build, well, buildings very, very quickly. It's all pre-planned buildings. So we're going to go for office. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a bit tight, but it'll be alright. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So that's our offices at the top there, and we've got what's this you're placing there? And there's the first dropout. So you expect this throughout the video as we're basically trying to reload it and get it all working again. So as we were saying, I'm guessing in the centre here, this is going to be a yard. And I assume that because you went with the hard substance not a man for the place where people are going to be playing football on, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So
not uncomfortable while they're in prison.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we can tell what type of prisons you go for. Do you go for a lot of reform by any chance?
Something along that line, yeah.
Reform via harsh punishment, I assume. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So while G-Client has placed massive chips of obsidian for the yard, they're also placing two buildings, Oop North and Dan South. So what are these two buildings?
Probably prison blocks, if you want them to be.
Prison blocks, right? So just a couple of cells in each one. Do you want to say?
Yeah, just a few.
Okay, well, we'll have a couple of those. We also need a shower, yard, a holding cell, kitchen, canteen, things like that. So shall I crack on with the canteen and the kitchen? Do you reckon?
Can do.
Okay. What I'm going to do is also go to Warden, and I'm going to hire a Warden, because that's part of our Administration Centre grant. I'm going to go over to Bureaucracy, and I want to unlock many, many things, which includes, but is not limited to, security, maintenance, and prison policy? No. Health, and that should do us for now. It says requires office, but you can see these are getting built, so eventually those will be sorted. I want to go ahead and plan off a wall that'll go down and around, and this will be really the wrong size for this, but you know what, we'll manage. That's going to be internal. I mean, the good thing about doing this is, you know, you can still plan it off with a friend as much as you want, and you know, take forever and a day planning off and then build it and get it wrong together. That's that's the great thing about co-op. You know, many will share in your failures. So we'll go for walls and probably a canteen in here. And then I don't know where to put the no, not a canteen there. We've got a bit of a weird sizing issue around here, which again has been mentioned multiple times for various reasons, but if we go for perhaps storage down the back, and then maybe kitchen and a canteen. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on where we should put the kitchen and canteen? I mean, you know, let's actually use this co-op stuff to full advantage.
I reckon as far away from each other as possible so their food's cold by the time they get to eat it.
Okay, again, we can see what type of prison warden we have here. So what we'll do is in the bottom corner, we'll go for a very, very small kitchen. We'll go for... shall I make it so we don't cook enough food as well? Yeah?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay, and then we'll go for a canteen in the top corner. Would that be acceptable?
I think that should be, and I've misjudged that distance, haven't I?
Have you? Oh, wait. Why didn't you build it just a little bit bigger?
Mainly incompetence.
Okay, that's fine. There's now graded cells in the game, which I'm assuming you have not been made aware of. You can also, in the bureaucracy thing, which you don't have access to, only I do, we go for legal, and then after that, we can also go for a small cells unlock, which means the cells can be as small as you like. You do know you can build just an extension with the foundation, so if I just go like that, for example, it will actually extend it to the correct size, yeah? I'm guessing not. Okay, so I'm going to let the workers crack on with that, although they seem content with just sitting around and doing nothing. Do we have any workers that are stuck? No, they are not stuck. Jobs. Construct building frame. No, they've got that set. They have got that set. I wonder why they're not cracking on with it. That's an issue. I'll prioritise that. Do you see the workers just sitting around in the deliveries and the garbage?
Yes, they do. Just need to be just milling about.
Okay. I'm going to max speed it out, see if they actually crack on with it. Oh no, they are going to. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're cracking on.
He is. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Right, lads. I think they're on break or something. I don't know. Right, so over to utilities once more. Electrical cable will be connected now that it was not connected at all. And we're going to place the suboptimal kitchen and canteen as to G-Client specifications. So we're going to have a jail door. No, we don't need jail door. We'll go for a staff door in the kitchen, and we'll go for 2 large jail doors in the canteen, which I will actually cancel because that's not in a good place. Let's go for building brick. There's a grant completion by the sound of it as well. Did you hear a little bell ring just then, by the way?
No, because my sound is off.
Oh, okay. Well, that's appropriate, I guess. So... I mean, you answered the question. You answered it quite right. Anyway, so there's your cells. We'll obviously have to put walls all the way around them, but I guess that should do us quite nicely. We could also, if you wanted to, turn one of those into a holding cell. Or do we have another holding cell somewhere?
Not at the moment. I can build one.
Okay, I'll place a holding cell probably just to the left of this place, I think. I'm just going to go to rooms and to yard, and we're going to place this yard. Are we going to have a walkway of 1 going around the outside? Was that the plan?
Something like that, yes.
You didn't have a plan, just be honest with us, yeah? You didn't have a plan at all, and you just assumed that matters would take care of themselves. Right, let's crack on with that.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do fancy tiles at the front here in reception as well, because there has to be something decent about the prison. So technically no, but I think it would be nice to at least attempt to. If the inspector comes along basically and says, "So what have you done to make it better?" we can honestly say that we spent a boatload of money on fancy tiles, and he'd probably be quite happy with it. I mean, he's a bureaucrat after all.
Yeah.
So there's the cells getting built, and you've managed to.
Our first prisoners.
Oh, good grief. You've seen Shawshank, right? Anyway, so that's one way of getting prisoners. Not entirely sure that was the intended way, but hey ho. We didn't exactly ask for a backstory, so one has been provided for you. Right, so we need a walkway to the kitchen, which should be that. I'm going to designate this as kitchen, and we will designate this as the canteen. There we go, and go ahead and place all the items in here. Really strange size for a kitchen, but let's just see what we can do. So, cooker's in there. We'll have some fridges behind. Not going to worry too much about the sizing, because the chances are we're not even going to be... I don't think we're going to be keeping this prison, are we? This is just us having a bit of a mess around and enjoying a nice beverage. Are you placing that small pipe there? Yeah, I'm gonna run.
Yes.
I'm gonna run a large right down the bottom there, right? So you can probably just hook up to that one.
Okay.
There you go. I can see once people have started building this and played it just a little while, you probably get in sync and start really becoming efficient at building stuff. And it's also nice to see people's interpretations of things and how they're building stuff. So I would have never thought of building the cells like this. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. Let's just knock that on the head right now, because I know what G-Client's thinking. But I'm saying that it's a nice, interesting design there. That would be quite good for high-risk prisoners, because it's got a decent size for grading, which we currently don't have access to, but it's probably grade 2 because of the size. And then you can have an armed guard going up and down. Very secure, actually. There we go. Right. I mean,
Entirely unintentional.
I was about to say totally unintentional. Let's just put that out there as well. But at least it's there's some attempt there. Yeah. I mean, I was going to try and I thought I'll fling a savior in there. Fling a. Anyway, right, let's just build some power lines there and connect all of that up. Let's just go over to the Bureaucracy tab, and we want to unlock things like deployment and intelligence, because we don't have any of that. And deployment, patrols, everything. Prison policy, and education, I think. And we should be able to now hire a foreman and a chief. Excellent. We're currently on minus 42,418 generic units of currency. We're receiving minus 2,600 a day, so obviously we are definitely government ran here, but still. Disconnect number 2. Okay, so G-Client, would you be okay in finishing this canteen for us all?
Yes, I'm sure that I can make horrible mistakes at this as well.
Okay, I actually think the placement might be in slight error, but either way, we'll just crack on with it. So I'm going to run some concrete tileage over there, so you can, have the workers at least run at a reasonable pace over there to deliver the meals on wheels. So in order to get our facility up and running, I think we're going to light a fire under this. So I'm going to go to reports. I'm going to go to prison intake, and I'm going to turn on just a bit of, you know what, just that one. And we'll just receive some amount of prisoners. There we go. And that means that we have to get this sorted sooner rather than later. So 6 hours, 31 minutes in order to, basically to finish this one off. So I've got the kitchen up and running. You're going to get the canteen. We need to get a shower and a holding cell sorted. So let's crack on with that one. Holding cell, I think, can go maybe around this sort of area, and maybe a communal outdoor shower around here. So let's do just that. So what we'll do is have that going like that, this going along to there, and like that, and all that's going to be shower. So let's just go to concrete, and we'll place it along, and there we go. And obviously that will require the removal of trees. What the hell is that? Are you removing bits from the canteen?
Maybe.
Yeah, I thought I was. I heard the bleep 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 noise, and I was wondering what it was. And yes, indeed, it was you shifting that. By the way, I would recommend you use planning and use the objects bit, and then you can plan it off, because otherwise you're going to be there forever.
Yeah, it's much more fun doing it this way, though.
It is, but there is a stream of workers coming over there carrying heavy things, and then just before they get there, you cancel it all. So I've got a lot of reports on the desk now saying, who is this other person? Can we fire him? You know, things like that. I mean, I've got the same stack of reports for myself, but at least I have to be seen to do something to relieve their concerns. Anyway, where we're getting with this one, that's all the way along down the bottom. That is fine. We're going to go over to rooms and then to the shower, which requires to be in neither indoors nor to be a certain size. It literally just has to be in existence and has to have a shower head on it. But I'm going to go ahead and place a drain on it because we're generous there, and we'd rather not flood the entire prison because we're not creating Waterworld. And let's go down with the shower head and then up on the other side and increase some more debt. There we go. So how goes the canteen? Alright, so you got 2 serving tables and a couple of seats and such. We are going to receive 10 prisoners next because it's fill to capacity. I mean, we could alter that to just say just all available, and that'll give us a total of 16 prisoners, and that shouldn't be a big issue because we're gonna have a holding cell back here anyway. In fact, you know what I might do? Cancel some of this and have a walkway. I think that would be a good choice. So there's some grants getting finished. What grants is it? Well, most of them. We'll go for psychology and finance, because why not? Alright. So we've got a stream of trucks coming in, delivering all of this. But I mean, really, this pretty much is just like the standard PA experience, just with added dropouts. But I'm obviously beta branches beta. We sort of expected this. So from your side then, what's it like? I mean, you've got, you don't have access to a lot of things that I have, so you haven't got access to reports and stuff like that, but what's the rest of the building like? Is it just as standard?
Just as prison architect.
Yeah, so you can place everything in there. Do you get things like, do you have access to quick build? I know you have access to planning.
Yes, I do have access to quick build.
And you've obviously got access to utilities because you've placed a big electrical cable all the way down to the offices.
Yes.
What about staff? Can you hire staff?
Yes, I have access to everything with the exception of deployment, logistics, and intelligence.
Right. When you mouse over that, what does it say? Because mine just says locked, you require intelligence, which, sorry to say, I've heard that many times said to me.
Yeah, it says pretty much the same thing.
Okay, right. Well, when we unlock that, that'll unlock for me, but it might not unlock for you. But we'll see in a moment because we're currently going for deployment in 4 hours, so we'll have access to that in a bit, and then we'll know exactly what the deal is there. So I'm going to demolish walls there, and then we'll have the rooms removed there and there. Would you be so kind as to hire an appropriate number of cooks and guards, please?
I can do that.
Hang on,
Probably.
is this centralised? I bet you it's not centralised. It doesn't feel like it's centralised. 13 and 12. Remove that then. There we go. So we've almost got our grant done. We've got just build a holding cell grant to do, really. So pathway can come out here. And is that right? 10 from there. 10 from there. Yes. The biggest holding cell ever, and it's not required the size, but hey ho. Would you be able to plumb in this shower for me, please?
I think I can again do that, probably.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like the line going from that, and yeah, you have to put them over the top as well. You can't just put them in between.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, so let's finish off this jail door, which will go there. This is going to be our holding cell. How many guards did you employ? Ooh, okay. I'm gonna get just 1 or 2 more staff because we're having some people turn up shortly. Do I have access to the regime? I do, and it's not what we normally have. Okay, let's just quickly smash this into a default option, which is that, and then we'll have shower time, and then free time, and then eat there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, eat time, and then finally we'll have a bit of lockup in the middle, which is going to be an interesting one because we don't actually have anywhere to lock them up. Oh no, we do have the cells, and we have this as well. Okay. So obviously we've got no automatic door openers, we've got no patrol set, we've got no deployment set, so they can just wander around where they want. So I expect escapes, and quite frankly, probably soon. Anyway, here we go. Here's our first set of inmates. Would you like to come and greet our inmates and see what sort of people we have? I mean, I'm assuming you're already judging them as they come off the bus, right? Judging by...
Before then.
Oh, before then, right?
Before they even commit the crime, actually.
All right. Right, we got a snitch here. So Simon Eads, prisoner number 3722899. We've sentenced for 1 year for insider trading, who's also a snitch. So when you click on these prisoners, do you get all of their character and experience and stuff like that? Do you get access to all of that?
Yes, I believe so.
All right, okay. Can you also punish them, like say search prisoner and do all of that sort of thing?
Yes, I can.
All right, okay. I would have thought that that's something they'd not really bothered with, but anyway. So we need to finish off. Where's this? So we've got 58 minutes until we can make the outside place where they shouldn't go. So that's going to be interesting. We are still waiting for the water to be placed there, which I don't know if it'll reach. No, it's not going to reach. I don't think that's going to reach because I think it's a bit too long. Well, we'll see how it goes. If we need to change it, we'll change it. Disconnect number 3. Anyway, we're about done here, and as you can see, we've just got a bit of the holding cell to finish off, some of the water in the shower heads, and then this will be I would call it a fully functional prison, but at least it'll be at least it's being built sort of cooperatively, which was the whole deal on this one. So we've now unlocked deployment, and I have access to that. I assume you don't. If you mouse near the deployment on the bottom there.
No, I have. No. Yes, I can click on it, but I don't have access to it.
Right, what does it say when you click on it? Does it actually tell you don't have access?
Only available for the host player.
There you go. Well, fair enough. Which, as we've mentioned before, is something that they've noted is going to be added later on. So they are going to be trying to add pretty much everything as the full PA experience at a future day. I mean, I don't think many people expected this to become multiplayer. I certainly didn't. I mean, I think it's been discussed several times on numerous videos about maybe it happening, but I never did think it would actually happen. Actually, that's road. We've got gravel. There we go. It's interesting. I'm getting pedantic, thinking, well, we need to finish this bit of the yard off and do this, but in reality, I mean, it's not going to get kept. But right, we got a bit of a problem now. We have prisoners who can't be assigned to any cell because the holding cell ain't created. So I'm going to prioritize that. I'm going to max the speed out because, well, quite frankly, what's another dropout, right? And we just need to place benches. Objects, bench.
Being too good to these prisoners.
What, let them sit down?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they have got a toilet, so there is places to sit down. There we go. So that's now in. Danger level is increasing, mainly due to G-Client's comments, but also because they're saying they don't have access to an area, which they now do. They don't have power, but at least they have access to to this place. Let me just connect the power up. I don't know why there's some weird power connections there. Looks like all the water is now on the shower head. We've got another grant done. Intelligence is going to get unlocked in a moment because we now got surveillance. Patrol is finished and now, and yeah, that's cracking on. We'll go for dogs and armory and any of this because yeah, we're going to try and make it make us run loads of cash. What? What?
You can have dogs now.
Yeah, you can yes. There's dogs. There's armed guards. There's sniper towers. You can
really.
Yes. So if this is an interesting. Oh, good grief! Right. I think you know what. I think we're gonna call it there because this is gonna get demonetized because he's gonna say something that's just gonna be unsavory. So that has been a little bit of Prison Architect in the new multiplayer beta. Overall, I actually quite like it, apart from the fact that it doesn't work half the time with dropouts and such. That's been my experience with 2 people now. I've tried it with a couple of people and it does seem to drop out. When it works very well. It just is pretty much exactly like Prison Architect, obviously with the caveat that the clients don't have much power as the host. But other than that, it's good. And I think what it's going to add is, seeing different ways of building things. You're going to be able to have bigger prisons that are built quicker. It's going to be interesting if you have limited funds on, because I can just imagine one person planning something off meticulously and then another person going and then placing a boatload of concrete in a corner and spending it all, which would be interesting. But then I guess you can have roles as well. I mean, you could have one person as like the architect, for example, so I can say, right, G client, you crack on, you build this part of the prison, and I'll keep managing it. So I'll do all the micro stuff, like watching where the prisoners are going and doing the searching and stuff. So I think it's going to add quite a bit to it at some point. It just needs to be finished. What's your thoughts on it anyway?
I think it's a good addition. Be better if it worked fully, but
yeah, I mean we can sort of overlook that it being the beta, but I mean, would you see yourself actually making a prison cooperatively? I mean, do you see it?
I think it could be something that could be quite entertaining to do, with a friend or others.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it would work with just random jump-ins. I guess it would be like anything. Really, it's a luck of the draw, isn't it? But as a co-op mess around and stuff, I think it would be quite good. Anyway, yeah. I think we will leave it there. So thank you very much to G Client. If people would be so kind as to give him +1 generic approval point / appreciation point in the comments, then that would be most good. I'm thankful for him for helping us out here. That has been a little bit of try of the beta. I'm looking at more, but probably once it is a little bit more fleshed out and we've got some of the rough edges rounded off. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings. Thanks to you, client. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, G client.
Thank you. Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, for God's sake. Try again. Go back in. Right, this is going in the bloopers, right?
I'll tell you one thing, this gave us some comedy timing.
It does, it really...